Good morning, friends. Friday, May 22nd. I hope and pray that you are doing very well on this Friday morning. Friends, behind me is the remnants of some of the work that's been going on here while you've been gone. We have done a little bit of ceiling repair, and some painting, a lot of paint. We've done a lot of painting, and friends, I'm anxious to see you again. I'm anxious to gather in this place. I love this place, and there's so many memories that we have together of being here in this place. There's weddings, there's baptisms, there's funerals. There's first communions. There's moments where we have just been lifted up in praise. There's moments where we have been moved to tears together by the love and grace of God in this place. I miss gathering with you. I want to let you know that we as a church, church council, executive committee, we asked a group of folks to come together to form a public health team that would evaluate procedures and process for us to regather, what that looks like, what that would look like. And let me just share a couple of thoughts with you about that when we regather. First is this: we still don't know the when. And it's hard for us to know the when. I know that there's some churches that have announced a reopening date. I know that there's some churches that have said, we're not looking at regathering for a long time. And I know that some of you're anxious to regather. You're anxious to be back in this place. And I know that there's some of you who are, really hesitant to be together. I want you to know that we've received guidance from the bishop's office. We've received guidance from the national church, and we're going to continue to follow the protocols and the guidelines by the CDC, the Iowa Department of Public Health, all those kinds of things. We in Norwalk, we might as well consider ourselves Polk County when we talk about spread, and when we talk about, cases and all that kind of stuff. I want us to think real clearly about why we're regathering. Because when we regather, it's going to look different, right? There's been advice and studies that have shown that singing in public is something that is dangerous, could cause a lot of spread. The droplets from you singing, or from others around you singing, vaporizes, right, and spreads. There's studies that have shown being inside an enclosed building with air conditioning running or heat running, that increases the spread. So that means that when we regather, we're going to ask people to wear masks, at least for now. That's what our public health team is working on, some process for how to regather. We thought about regathering and traffic patterns, right? So that when you come in, everybody's going to come in one door, everybody's going to exit another door. We're gonna fill the worship space from the front to the back. And then we're going to exit the worship space from the back to the front. For the passing of the peace, everybody's going to stay in their own rows. And you can wave, but we don't want anyone to reach out and hug or touch, all that stuff, right? When we regather, we probably won't be singing. And I know that's the highlight, right? You don't come for the sermons, you come for the singing. I get that. That's important. And I understand that. I'm joking a little bit, I hope. When we regather, we won't do an offering. We won't do communion. To be very stripped down and simple if and when we get to that place. Treats. We're not going to do treats. We're going to ask people not to congregate so that when you leave, we want you to leave. When you come, we want you to come in. And there'll be distancing. We're going to rope off every other pew. And you're going to sit in that front pew where the usher assigns you to keep distance. And so, all that said, when we start to put all those restrictions in place, we start to think about, well, what's the point of regathering? Because we're not going to sing, we're not going to pass peace, we're probably not going to do communion for a while. What's the point of regathering? And in some sense, we say, well, are we going to regather for the sake of saying that we're going to regather, so that we're worshiping together? And for some of us, we want to make that claim. We want to say we're going to regather for the sake of regathering, and we've done it. We did it. Look, we did it. But I also am mindful of this fact that, there's a church out in Northern California that one person infected 180 of the congregants in that church when they came together for worship. And it's one case, right? And I don't want to lead with fear. I don't want to lead with fear. And we're not going to. We're going to step out in faith. But when we think about regathering, we also want to think about caring for and loving our neighbors. I know that many of you want to be here. I want to be here. I long to be here with you. And at the same time, our call as Christians, it's not about us. It's about our neighbor. We're to love God and love our neighbor. We're supposed to love God and love our neighbor as ourselves. And so when we regather, one of the things that we will do is we will claim love of neighbor. And that means taking all of those safety precautions, all of those extra measures, and following all those guidelines for the sake of our neighbor. Because we love God and we love our neighbor. Because we love God and we love others. So, friends, I want you to consider, as we plan for regathering, all of those things. We will do it soon. We will be together soon. I long for that day. I'm excited for that day. And right now, at this moment, we're not at that place. The council, public health team, we're going to have some discussions about the when early next week. And we'll be in touch with you about how we do that and when we do that. Right now, we've figured out some of the how. We're going to continue to massage that. And Brian and Laura and Ed and a few others are continuing to massage those guidelines. And I want you to know that, if it upsets you that we're not regathering, or if it upsets you that we are regathering, we're probably in a pretty good place. But for now, we're going to take seriously our call, the call that's placed on our collective selves to love God and to love our neighbor. And for now, that means that we're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue to do the digital. We're going to continue to do the virtual stuff. And we're going to get creative, especially in this next month, about having some more interaction with you, because I miss you. I love you. And I long to be with you again. But for now, continue to hold this church, other church communities, other church fellowships in your prayer. And friends, have a great and God-blessed Friday. Be very well. Take care of yourself. Take care of your neighbors, your loved ones, your family, and your friends. Take care. Talk to you soon.